Hello, and welcome back to Crazy Dave's Kitchen, or should I say Crazy One-Arm Kitchen. I had a little bit of an accident about a week ago, but that's okay. We're going to change away from breads and so forth of what needs hands. And we're going to do one-arm cooking, which is basically going to be stews and soups, since it is soup season here in the Midwest, once the weather starts getting cooler. So today I have a great recipe for you. It is a Moroccan-style, Moroccan-flavored beef, tomato, and chickpea stew. And it's really a nice braised beef. Takes about an hour and a half or so, maybe another half hour, so 2 hours total. But this is a great meal, great weeknight meal, something you can keep in the fridge. Mostly done on the stovetop, and I should be able to pull it off with one arm. The one thing you will want to do is grate a pound and a half of tomatoes with the box grater. And we're not going to use the skin, we're just going to use the flesh inside. The reason why we're not using stewed tomatoes or anything from the store is that there's extra spices and salt and things like that in there, and we really want the true tomato flavor. So let's head on over to the stove. We'll go through the ingredients and whip up some awesome stew. Okay, so I have 2 tablespoons of olive oil heating up until just shimmering in this pan. And we're going to add our vegetables. I have the one oddball-y vegetable I have is cut up stems of cilantro. So I've reserved the cilantro leaves for when we finish this stew. But we're going to start with the cilantro stems chopped up. So we're going to add those in. We're going to add 2 carrots that we've got chopped up. We're going to add 2 stalks of celery. And pardon the arm, I know I'm not supposed to block the arm, but you know, I've got a pretty decent excuse. And I also have 1 large red onion. If you happen to have a store like I do, the red onion is already chopped up, and it saves your tears, and it saves your mess, just for convenience. And then to this, we're also going to add a half teaspoon of salt. Now these vegetables are going to simmer for about 10 minutes or so until they get soft. So we're just going to mix these up, get them coated in the oil over medium heat, and we're just going to cover them and then just stir occasionally over the course of 10 minutes. All right, so it's been 10 minutes, and we can see that the vegetables are nice and tender and softening up. I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of tomato paste to this mixture until it starts to get dry on the bottom of the pot, which shouldn't take long, about a minute or so. Now we're also going to add some of our Moroccan spice. This is the harissa paste. We've used this before. This is available, I was able to find this at Trader Joe's. You can make your own harissa paste. There's recipes on the internet, but I would think it's just cheaper to buy it from Trader Joe's. These are really nice, fine spice, a little heat. Adds a nice heat derivative to this stew. We're also going to add 2 teaspoons of turmeric. Now we're going to add our tomatoes. Oh, that would have been a good one. Add our tomatoes. And we're going to keep this at a simmer. And we're going to add 2 quarts of low sodium beef broth. We're also going to add our potatoes with a big splash. And that is 1.5 pounds. 1.5 pounds of gold potatoes, peeled and sliced. We're going to bring this up to a simmer, keeping the heat at medium. Okay, so now we're going to add our beef. And then once the beef is added and stirred in, This is 2 pounds of this is 2 pounds of stew meat, and then we're going to simmer it for 1.5 hours, and just maintain the heat in a nice light simmer. Okay, so it's been 1.5 hours. We're going to take our meat pieces out of our stew. Okay, so we remove the meat from the stew. We're going to take a submersible blender, and we're going to blend the vegetables down into a fine paste, off heat, by the way. I took our braised meat and I chopped it up into nice bite-sized pieces. It's very nice and tender. And the reason why, we just wanted to get the meat out of there before we do the mixture with the submersion blender, grinding it to a fine paste. So we're going to throw the meat back in here, and we're going to throw the heat back on to a low simmer. We are also going to add in 2 cans of chickpeas. We're going to let this simmer for about 15 minutes or so. Also, feel free to salt and pepper, season to taste. There may be a few pieces of vegetable in there, but that's okay. Okay, so the chickpeas are nice and settled in and warmed up. To finish this off, we're going to take about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. I just have a half a lemon here that I'm just going to squeeze into this. You can also serve this with extra lemons. I have a seedless lemon here, so we're just going to squeeze that right into here. And then we've got the cilantro leaves that we cut off and kept to the side. We're going to add those cilantro leaves into this right now. Finish this off. And here is our Moroccan beef, tomato, and chickpea stew. Let's get this in a bowl and start to enjoy. All right, so here we are with our finished Moroccan beef stew, and the meat is very tender after all that braising for 1.5 hours, and it's really super delicious. I recommend some lemon wedges to spray in there. The heat of the harissa paste as well. It's just enough heat. It's like not overbearing. You can serve it with additional harissa paste as well. The Moroccan flatbread that's within my recipes, least watched video, I think 23, 27 times maybe, would be a great complement to this dish. Fantastic, something that can feed the whole family for the week. You know, you can put it in the fridge and dole it out accordingly. Maybe kids don't like the spicy food, but very good. Thanks again for tuning in to Crazy Dave's Kitchen, one-arm kitchen. I'll have this robotic arm for about 4 to 6 or 8 weeks or something like that. I'm not really sure. We'll have to find out together and see how long this thing's going to last. Feel free to click down below and subscribe. Also, when you go by the subscribe button, you'll see the link for the full recipe, which you can print out on your printer, and that link will take you to my website, which is Crazy.daveskitchen.com. Thanks again for tuning in to Crazy Dave's One Arm Kitchen, and we'll see you next time.